Girl, it's time for you to start mastering your emotions. Did you know that 72% of women have reported that their unmanaged emotions has affected their love life, their friendships, and as well as their finances? Not having any control over your emotion doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how people perceive you. It makes people not respect you. It makes you not get the type of relationships that you want. And it also makes you consistently be a victim in your life. If you are constantly reacting rather than responding, you are not just hurting yourself, you are also limiting the potential of your success in all areas of your life. I don't know if you know this woman or not, but her name is 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐞𝐿. And so she was a woman who used to have a lot of emotional reactions, and she took her emotions and she created herself an empire. So ask yourself this: where will you be and who could you be if you stop letting your emotions run the show? So in this video, I'm going to give you guys 4 solutions to help you regain control over your life. Welcome back to SHIMA Saba. This channel is all about self-care, self-development, self-improvement, relationships, and as well as I throw in a little bit of haircut tips. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and I truly do hope you guys do love it here. So the very first step that I want to talk to you guys about is to accept your emotions. Do not run from them. I know it's very common for women, for us to wear a brave face. We are always so used to putting ourselves last. We are so used to tending to other people's emotions. But I want you guys to just start to accept it without any type of criticism or any judgment for how you feel. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel shameful about it. Look at it and sit with it. Throughout my life, I used to always thought that I was just so emotional, intelligent person. I thought that it was easy for me to read people and read others, and I always found myself attracting the types of people who are just emotionally unavailable. But it didn't set into me to realize that I was being emotionally unavailable to myself. Every time I felt mad or every time I felt some type of anger, I started to suppress it. I started to not look at it, and I tried to logically take myself out of that, and that's not healthy. So what I started to do is I started to sit with it and just follow where the emotion was at in my body, and I sat there and I just allowed myself to feel it. Because when you run away from things, the stronger it becomes, and then that's where it builds up and builds up. That's when a lot of times people have these emotional outbursts. That's when they don't know how to respond in situations the right way. This is why sometimes your emotions can push people off and they think that you're being too much. And this is why it turns people off, and they label you as crazy, and they label you as someone who just don't know how to control themselves, and they're just too overreactive because you're not sitting with your emotions. So just sit with it, and instead of labeling it as something bad or something good, regardless if you're feeling anxious, sad, angry, jealous, shameful, prideful, whatever, just let yourself know it is okay to feel this way. By accepting and sitting with your emotions, you begin to loosen its power over you. So then you begin to respond with intention instead of responding with reaction. So that leads us to the second step, which is to step out of your thoughts. Emotional mastery is all about creating space and distance from yourself and what you are feeling. Emotions are just emotions. I know you guys probably have heard this before, but emotions are just emotions. It is not who you are. It's just something that you're feeling at this moment. It shall pass, but you also have to realize, why am I feeling this way? So your emotions are informing you about something that you care about, but don't let it dictate your actions. So too often women can get caught up into overthinking, emotional spirals. The way how Hailey handled that situation with so much grace. She did not allow that to give an emotional reaction. Instead, she created space. She's responding in a way with having healthy boundaries. So this is the key to emotional agility. Understanding that you are not your emotions, but you are the observer of them. That gives you space to act accordingly. It gets your point across in a very healthy way, and it makes your life so much easier. So to put this into action, practice mindfulness. And whenever you are feeling overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths and just observe your thoughts from a distance. Don't let it overcome you. So just keep reminding yourself, this is what I am feeling. It is not who I am. This is just a feeling that I am experiencing. So this shift allows you to take back control and respond with clarity than driven by emotional impulses. So the third step of mastering your emotion is to quit being afraid of what others think about you. So one of the biggest emotional traps that women fall for is emotional validation. And this just goes back to how we were brought up. Women are often always the ones who are there to support people. We are always there to help others. We are always putting ourselves last. We're never second. We're never the first one. We are raised that way, and it's just how society puts in place of how women should be. We are told that what makes you a woman is about what you don't do. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Is this the right response? Is this bad or is this good? Because we are constantly trying to seek validation of being a good person. If you're a first daughter in the comment section, raise your hand, because I'm the first daughter. And this is something I had to realize and I had to learn. A lot of my problems in my life had happened to me because I was a first daughter and the only daughter for a very long time. And I was just brought up by making sure that everyone is happy, making sure that everyone is okay, making sure that everyone else got their needs met. Because if I didn't do that, then I would be bad. If I didn't do that, I would be the problem person. So we're doing this in our careers, we are doing this in our friendships, and we definitely are doing this with our partners. It drains us, makes you feel a loss of identity. It's easier said than being done, but you have to stop putting other people's opinions or other people's expectations. Stop taking on that. And you can start doing this by saying no to stuff that you don't want. Start practicing boundaries. If you don't set boundaries with people, it doesn't give you a sense of who you are. You lose your identity. It's about living for everybody else. It's as though everyone else exists, everyone else have a life, but you don't have a life. When you're around people, you are living for people. They all get what they want. They all get the experience that they need when they're around people, but you are pleasing other people. You are trying to make sure that you live up to their expectations of what they want, but they have their own life, just like how you have your own life. You weren't put here to just be subservient. And I know it's a societal condition, but you have the choice to break free from those chains, to break free from those conditions. Just like I said, practicing saying no, start learning how to set healthy boundaries, and as well as start to begin to journal. But trust me, these things work. It's so simple. You have to begin to write to yourself, tell yourself these things, wherever you seeking out this validation from. As women, we love to call people, we love to talk to other women, to talk about our problems, to just help someone hear us out. But over time, people get burnt out by that. People get tired of that. People have their own lives. People have their own problems, and people are getting exhausted. Okay, they're gonna be like, dang, every time she coming around, she always got to complain about somebody. Every time she's coming around, she's always just miserable. You have to be mindful of that. And so if you cannot use people as your emotional regulation. You have to fix your own emotions. It's a lot of times we're not taught this, but it's not your fault that you wasn't taught that. But now it's your responsibility, girl. Come on, get up. It's your responsibility to begin to learn how to reparent yourself. Learn how to validate your own emotions. Don't depend on people to validate you. Validate your own self. Begin writing. Write down a day. Write down when someone did something to you. Write it out and begin walking. Take a walk. It clears your mind. And I know I'm laughing, but it's because I've been through this too. And it's the things I'm telling you is very true. So just practice self-validation. This makes you become a much more stronger person. It makes you stronger. It makes you break those chains, the emotional chains that people had over you. So you take that leverage and you take your power back, because you have that power too. So the last one is to stop blaming people for your emotional state. So it's very easy to blame people for how they did you wrong, and they may have done you wrong, and it's easy to just put the blame on them. But then when you realizing that you blaming every single person back, the fingers point back at you. And so you have to think about, okay, I have to take control of my emotional state. Because when you are constantly giving a person, blaming people for how you feel, you are giving them control over you. So the best way to handle this is to Think about, okay, if someone has wronged you, feel the emotions, sit with the emotions, and think about, okay, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel angry at this person? Why did they do this to me? Does a feeling of disappointment come up? Do you feel like you're being betrayed? Allow yourself to feel okay with that. Don't suppress it. Allow it to come up, let it leave, but then you begin to strategize. What can you do about this situation? Do you need to cut this person off? Do you need to set better boundaries with this person? What is it in you that you have control over? Make a plan how to get out of this situation. Wherever it is, you can do it. If you feel like a person is always wronging you, a person is always being mean to you, set boundaries with them. Limit your reactions with them. Limit the time that you spend with them. You have to think about how to strategize it and don't let it take control over you, because people will use your emotions against you. This is how this world operates. You have to begin to become smarter with this. There are manipulators out here. There are people who prey on people like that. Begin to take your power back. And this is not going to happen overnight. This takes time. Continue watching videos. Save this video. Look for other videos. Begin going to workshops. Begin reading books. Begin doing different type of activities or worksheets on learn this process in your mind. It's possible. Think about yourself in a different state of how you would be. So when you begin to shift your energy from blame to ownership, you begin to have power and you have more control over your emotions. It creates inner peace and it creates growth. To recap, mastering your emotions as a woman involves 4 key steps. Accept your emotions. Stop being afraid of what everybody else thinks. Free yourself from external validation and stop blaming people. So remember that having emotional mastery is not a destination. This won't happen overnight. This is going to take some time, but this is a destination. Each of these steps will give you back your power and allow you to have a much more happier, fulfilled life. It's not about being perfect. It's about becoming aware of your emotions and learn how to respond in a healthier way. So let me know in the comment section about which area you guys are going to start focusing on today. I hope this video has been very helpful for you all. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, peace.